हेलो गाइस, तो वेलकम आ गया हूँ सॉरी हेलो हेलो एवरीबॉडी। बाय ब्राइबरी, बाय ब्लफ, बाय corrupting officials. How Oscar Schindler saved 1,200 Jewish people during World War II. So let's go start our video. The Nazis carried out the final liquidation of the Krakow's Jewish ghetto on 13 March 1943, an act of violence that shocked a factory owner into becoming a savior. These events were depicted in Thomas Kenley novel Schindler Arc and Steven Spielberg film Scandal List, but in 1982, Connelly told the BBC that Oscar Scandler's story was handed to him during a chance meeting with a luggage salesman. Oscar Schindler was living in relative obscurity when his story was first featured on the BBC in 1964. Journalist Magnusson told viewers of the current affairs program tonight, you may not have heard of him yet, but one day you will. Guys, this is not just line. One day you will. Today he lives in Germany, sick, unemployed, and penniless. In fact, he lives on charity, but not the poor box kind. The money that keeps him and his family alive comes from the 1,300 Jews whose lives are personally saved in the last war. Many of them are pledged to give once they pay a year to the man they call the Scarlet Pimpernel of the concentration camps. Scandler was in the news that day because it had been announced that a Hollywood film called To the Last Whore was to be made about his life. It came about because a few years earlier, Holocaust survivor Oldek Pufferberg had shared with MGM producer Martin Gosch the almost preposterous story of how he was among thousands saved by a Nazi war profiteer. A handsome womanizing drunk and wheeler dealer from Kazakh, I can't read this, Czechoslovakia, who had previously demonstrated few hero qualities, will that particular film would be get stuck permanently in development hell. In 1980, Pfefferberg had a chance meeting with an unsuspecting Australian writer that would change both their lives. Thomas Nelly was killing time at the end of a Los Angeles promotional trip. I was being put up in unaccused, unaccustomed grandeur by my publisher at a big hotel in Beverly Hills and window shopping for a new briefcase before returning home to Sydney. He told the BBC's Desert Island Discuss in 1983 that the leather goods shop owner, being a good Central Europeans, came out to greet him and gave him the hell, hard sell. Nelly said Preferberg did produce a very good briefcase, and while I was waiting for the charges to be cleared on my credit cards, they are very slow to clear Australian credit cards. I noticed it's the convict reputation. He began to talk to me about his Valentine experience. All of us owe him such a debt. He has carried the story of Oscar Schindler to all of us. Steven Spielberg on Old preferable. He knew I was a writer and he said, "I've got a book for you." I was saved, but so my wife saved from Auschwitz by an extraordinary German, a big handsome Hitler right dream of a man called Oscar Schindler. I have many Oscar Schindler documents. In the 1960s, a movie was nearly made about Oscar and Will were waiting for your credit card cleared. You have not looked at material. He told his son to mind the shop and he took me up to the bank to the corner open on Saturdays. He talks them into returning of photocopies of all the remarkable material, and at once I understood that her was a most astounding European character. One of those documents was what would be become known as scandal list. The list is live. The list is live. Nelly would go to write in his best-selling novel Scandal arc or all around its cramped magnies. It lies the gulf from the opportunities of Xavier. Preferberg was born into a Jewish family in Krakow, where he had worked as a high school teacher and physical education professor until 1939 when Germany invaded Poland. He joined the Polish army and was wounded in battle. He told Neri that when Poland fell to the Nazis and was partitioned between Hitler Germany and Stalin's Soviet Union, he had to make a tough decision. We officers had to decide to get east or west. I decided not to go east and even though I was Jewish. If I had, I would have been shot with all the other poor sons of bitch in Khatyan forest. He was imprisoned in the Krakow ghetto, a segregated area established in 1941 by the Nazis. About 15,000 Jewish people were herded into the area that previously housed about 3,000 residents and forced to live in dehumanizing conditions. It was also in the Krakow. It was also in the Krakow that the Nazis that the Nazi party member Oscar Schindler was exploiting wartime misery for money, taking over several conflicts sophisticated Jewish-owned business, including an enamel factory. At first, most of Schindler workers were non-Jewish Polish, but he later began to employ Jewish forced laborers from the ghetto. Pfefferberg became one of his employees. Meanwhile, the Nazis began rounding up groups and Jewish people at gunpoint and deporting them to nearby concentration camps. For those left behind, it was a time to terror. In history is a series which uses the BBC unique audio and video archive to explore historical events that still resolved today. Schindler was forever changed in March 1943 by the brutality of the Nazis' final liquidation of the Krakow ghetto. Those deemed able to work were transported to the nearby Plazo labor camp. Thousands more who were considered unfit for work were either murdered in the streets or sent to the Auschwitz-Birkenau death camp. To save his workers from the camps, Schindler turned to using the talent for corruption and decided he continued to pursue Nazi officials that his workers were vital to the German war effort. Bribing high-ranking SS officers with money and alcohol, his factory also produced ammunition. Sales and ensure was regarded as a vital resource and listed the names, birth dates, and skills of Jewish workers, emphasizing their importance to the Nazi war machine. Nelly told the BBC what he virtually did was set up winning concentration camp not once but twice, and he kept on losing his people and getting them back by bribery, by love, by corrupting officials, and by exploiting the extraordinary SS bureaucracy that was involved in a prospectively systematic manner in the Holocaust. More like the how music saved the circle life and Auschwitz. The man who saved 669 children from the Nazis, and a Frank father on his daughter. We will cover this is all in next video. When the war ended, Schindler struggled with the failed businesses and turned in the helicopter those whom he had failed businesses. Not just business, failed business, many businesses, and turned into alcohol. Those whom he had rescued would end up trying to rescue him, helping to support him financially. He died in 1974, aged 66. Survivors brought his remains to Israel, where he was buried in the Catholic cemetery of Jerusalem. The inscription on his grave reads, "The unforgettable rescuer of 1,200 persecuted Jews." Among those saved were Berg and his wife Mila. After the war, the couple made their way through the US and ended up the Bravery Hills. Pfefferberg sometimes went by the name Leopold Page. Knelly noted in his 2008 memoir, Searching for Schindler, that this was a name forced on him. Upon arrival at Ellis Island in 1947, he told the BBC that writing in campaign volume had been on to his last list since Pfefferberg's death in 2001. I felt that as big a character as a Scandler was the man who had brought me to him was also an extraordinary character, he said. An award-winning book and an award-winning film. Award-winning book. Level of thinking. When Steven Spielberg won the Best Director Oscar of Schindler's List at the 1994 Academy Award, in his speech he said this never could have gotten started without a survivor called Podlake Pfefferberg. All of us owe him such a debt. He has carried the story of Oscar Schindler to the all of us. The film was based on Nellie novel Schindler's Ark, which won the UK Precious Booker Prize in 1982. Some argued that it should not have been classified as fiction, as the author had applied imaginative literary technique to the real events, to the manner of workers such as Truman Capote in Cold Blood and Tom Wolfe's The Right Stuff. Looking back in 2008 while discussing his Scandler memory, Nelly told the BBC the debate had been good for business. These days archbishops don't do writers the great benefits of winning them for the pulpit, but literary controversy does nearly as well as the archbishops of the past did promoting, he said in his Booker Prize acceptance speech. Colonel thanked Pfefferberg and other survivors who helped him tell the story. He said, I am in the extraordinary position that is akin to that of a Hollywood producer when he humbly accepts his Oscar and thanks so many people. Normally, a writer does not have thanked so many people, but most of my characters are still alive, and I also love to remember the extraordinary character whom Oscar was. Okay guys, so we will meet next video. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you.